Required reading might sound like a nuisance for many, but some students say English novels can have unexpected positive effects. So what do teachers think about this? To understand more about what teachers think about English novels, we asked English teachers what books have made an impact, what books really don't make an impact on students, and whether they see students coming back to these books later whenever they meet students later on. So what do teachers think about these?
I would say the books that we teach here definitely make an impact on students. Students who want to have an impact felt on them, who want to feel something from a book or a play, students who are insightful, students who are willing to do the work necessary to digest some of the difficult books we look at. I do think that most of the works we teach here, even though a lot of them are quite old, are still issues that people are struggling with, people are dealing with. Certainly some of the settings are outdated by now, but most of the conflicts, most of the characters, most of the themes, I think are things that we definitely find in our everyday life and in literature. I think some books speak to people right away. Others sort of take time to marinate, and you may not appreciate it for another 5 or 10 years, and that's okay. I think over the years, the books I've taught that students have really enjoyed the most and have had the greatest impact, I have to say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is up there. I really like Catcher in the Rye, although that might at this point even be a little bit dated. For freshmen, I still really enjoy To Kill a Mockingbird, and I think most students do as well. Of Mice and Men, also John Steinbeck, a book most students really enjoy. I'm not sure there are too many others that, maybe I would say The Things They Carried for junior year as well. That's one that most students really do enjoy. The ones I would say that students are not as attuned to, I would probably put The House on Mango Street in there. I would probably put The Crucible or The Great Gatsby in that category as well. Some kids, if they don't understand the Shakespearean language, Romeo and Juliet might be also too much of a challenge that it's just not worth it for some of them.
I think books definitely make an impact on students. I think that it depends on the student which book's going to have a bigger impact. I think every book that I've taught throughout the years has made an impact on some people, but not on others. And I think that's what's so great about having a lot of options and opportunities, that hopefully at least one impacts somebody. But I think that, all books can have impact because they're all political, because they all force us to think in a new way, in a different way. And that in itself is powerful. In English 10, we do a free choice. And so any kind of group book. And then we do Born a Crime and Animal Farm, and then we do poetry, contemporary poetry, newer poetry. We do The Alchemist, Mouse 1 and 2, and then another free choice.
Gotcha.
It's on the person. I noticed overall, generally, students really seem to enjoy the graphic novel, Mouse 1 and 2. They also really seemed to enjoy Born a Crime this year. They enjoy The Alchemist, but once again, it depends on when you teach it. The later part of the year, they seem to like it. The beginning of the year, they don't. So I don't know. I think there's a lot at play. I think that in general, students like the books that they get to choose the most. So I think that's why I try to incorporate so many free choice options, so that everybody has an opportunity to pick a book that they really like. And I think that's really powerful, that they have agency over what they're reading.
Well, we have a list of options that were given for each year, so it just sort of depends on the year. I tend to look at the list and think, like, what would I be interested in discussing with them, and like looking at picking apart and trying to pick a variety, but there's lots of options. So I kind of want to choose books that are representative of like different people, their backgrounds, and different moments in history. So we first read like Persepolis, which is pretty heavy, but I think it's important to kind of talk about, see how the perspective of someone young experiencing something heavy and, big is, and that we all have like ways that we can relate to one another and also learn something new about a place we didn't know, or a history we didn't know, or just gain empathy for people in general. So I don't know, I guess I just pick them based on like what lenses are they going to be seeing, and then how can we talk about them.
Gotcha.
I think that I definitely learn a lot in reading them and discussing with them, because maybe there's things that I'm looking at and I'm like, this is something that's impactful, but maybe that's not the part that was impactful to them, and it was something I totally didn't expect. But I do think they are impactful in that they're often reading about something that maybe they know about, but many times they don't know about. And so we get to have insight into something new and hopefully empathy for different situations as well.